Hi guys, welcome back to another progress vlog. So today I'll be making Rui from Demon Slayer. His base body is really simple to do. First off, I'm starting off the bottom with his legs. I'm using white yarn and then working all the way up. On round 14, I'm attaching this thing called the skirt, which is part of his outfit that he wears. And because it's a separate piece, I'll be calling it the skirt for a reference to my notes. And then the rest of this, I'm working up with white yarn for the body and the head, since they're all like the same color and it makes it really easy to crochet. In terms of the eyes, I decided to take paint markers and Sharpie, and then I tried to paint on the details of the eye. Both of the eyes are different and it has the labels of the rank on his eyes. Then I took a sealant and sealed both of the eyes, and then after that I'm taking this dark red yarn called Burgundy by Impeccable to create like the inner parts of the eyes. And then for the outer layer of the eyes, I'm using the color Fabulous by Crafter's Secret, and it's basically like a nice teal color that goes on the top and the bottom of the eyes for his eyelids. So yeah, you know he's a demon because he has very unique features. And yeah, this is what his body looks like so far. I'll be back with the next update. Hi guys, welcome back to another really quick update for the doll. So for the bottom part here, I am using this black lace yarn by Artiste, and then I am taking it and freehanding this as I am embroidering it onto the skirt area. On the front side, there is one really large spider web that I am embroidering on, and then moving on to the other sides, I'm also doing the same thing. I have it on the back side, one more on the side of the skirt as well, and they all look really different from each other because it's like free-handed, and I feel like some of them look better than the others, so I tried to add the spider webs accurately as possible in the areas that they're supposed to be in. So it doesn't completely cover the skirt all the way around, but it is covering the general areas, and I think it came out pretty decent. And then on the bottom you can see it's really messy in terms of the embroidering. And just really quickly, I also created the sleeves separately. There's two of them, which I use white yarn, and then I'm doing the same thing where I take black lace yarn and then embroidering them to the sleeves. I did it for two sides, where one side has spider webs and then the other side has pretty much another spider web. That way when you put the sleeves onto him, he has a spider web on the front side, and then he also has a spider web on the back side. And so far this is what it looks like for the front side, and again on the back side. And since the sleeves are removable, I will be taking it out to do the details on the chest area. So yeah, I'll be back with the next update. Hi guys, welcome back to the next update. I went ahead and simplified some of these things. So first off, I took my black lace yarn, inserted into like the waist area, wrapped it around the body to create like the little details of the outfit on the chest area. I don't know what to call it. I think it's like the flaps that are like folded, you know. I went ahead and took my red Sharpie marker and then drew out these red dots that he has along the openings of the flaps. Once I did that for the front, I took my black lace yarn, went around and like sewed on the little lines in between the red circles. And that pretty much concludes like the details of the embroidery. For the waist area, I'm taking this dark red color, which is called Burgundy by Impeccable. I crocheted a little strip for that and then glued it onto the waist area to complete off this outfit. And yeah, that is pretty much the update so far. There's nothing like too fancy, although the Sharpie does kind of like get a little bit messy, and I kind of got some of the markers stained on his outfit in the beginning, so I had to go back and take some white yarn and then cover up the stitches that were stained. So hopefully it's like not too visible now. But yeah, it's really hard to use marker on crochet stitches. So here's the front side, the back side. We got a bunch of spider webs going on, and up next I'll be back with the face. Hi guys, welcome back to the next update. And similarly to the body, I went ahead and took my red Sharpie marker and drew on some of the circle dots on his face. I also had some pins there to help me decide where I was going to draw the dots as like a little guide reference. Then I went back and took my black lace yarn and then I sewed it in between the red dots to connect them together. And yeah, this is what we have so far in terms of like the details of the face. I think it's pretty decent now that it's on, and the only thing we have left to do is the rest of the hair. So yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to the next update for the hair. Super quickly, so as usual, I'm using my hair strands from my Ninky hair tutorial pattern, which is links in the description box below if you also want to know how to make your own anime style hairs like I do in this video. And now we're starting off with the top middle part of the head. And did I mention to you guys, for the hair cap, I'm using this color Antique White, which is slightly a cooler toned white than the regular one, and it's by I Love This Yarn. And the rest of the hairs will also be in Antique White. I'm doing this because I wanted like two different shades of white rather than just one entire single shade. It's a very subtle difference, so it doesn't really matter too much, but I also wanted to use this yarn. And now we're starting off with these hair strands. These are all 12 chains, reference to my hair pattern. So the way I'm placing on the hair strands, here we have this triangle piece right here. It's a long triangle piece, which curls downwards. And then I'm simply just going to like pin this in place. I have another 12 chain right here, also curls downwards. And then another one right here. I flipped it backwards and also curl it down this way. So what I'm trying to do here is create the little curly long strands that he has on the edges of his face. And then I also added one more right here as well. And I'm hoping this will stay in place as like a second layer on top of these 2 strands. So here I have another 12 chain strand, which I'll just kind of play around with the placements of where I want the hair strands to be. So this one could like be over here. And since I'm giving him 2 eyes, I also want to place it to where the hair strands won't completely overlap over his eyes, like how it does in some reference photos, but I don't want to do that. I do want to place it in a way where you can see his eyes completely, and then it'll just sort of overlap on the edges. But just play around with the hair placements, and then you'll eventually figure out the general shape. Hey guys, welcome back to another quick update for the hair. So after doing the middle part, I am making a lot of these hair strands curl forward. So I'm placing them in like the same position using 12 chains, and then curling it backwards to where it creates like these little curly loops. And then on the side right here, so I'm just kind of placing them along the very last 2 rounds of the hair cap, placing it down with fabric pins. And I think I'll be doing the same thing along the edges. His hair will split at the end. And yeah, so far he looks kind of like a grandma. I don't know, it reminds me of like those old ladies with like short curly hair. So here's what it is from the top side. I created the little curls to go this way, and then another layer over that, so that way these little hairs can like overlap it and cover up some of the spaces. So I think it'll cover up the in-between spaces of these hair strands as well. And yeah, that's the plan so far. I'll be back with the next update. Back to the quick update. So I went ahead and finished off the edges of the hair cap. So here it is. I'm starting off with this one right here and flipped it around. It's a 12 chain. So this part is going to go along the shoulders and create like 2 little hair strands that are sitting next to his neck. And then the rest of this right here on the back side, since his hair strands do part and they're supposed to like go over his shoulder, I decided to make it short and use 8 chains just to cover the edges, and you can like see the back side. And then moving on to the rest of the hair cap on the top part, this entire empty space will be covered up with 8 chains, and all the pieces will randomly fit in like a little puzzle. Just simply create like the shape of it on the outer edges of the hair cap, and then the rest are going to be just filled up with 8 chains to fill in this space right here. And yeah, I'll be back with welcome back to the final update for his hair. So I went ahead and filled up the rest of his head with 8 chains, like I said earlier. So you can see like along the edges, that's where you can like kind of tell like the shape of the hair and which way it's going. When you look on the side profile, there's like nothing too complicated. I really did try to like simplify it. And as long as he looks like a grandma on the front side, I guess it's fine. I'm just kidding. But yeah, he does have like the little curls and like, you know, it goes like over his face. I wanted to make sure that both eyes are visible, so I didn't have like the hair strands going down too far down, covering his eyes. So yeah, the only thing I would like to improve on this would be like probably the eye color. I feel like it's not as dark as I would like it to be. I did try to go over it with Sharpie like multiple layers, but every time I put another sealant to cover the eyes, for some reason the colors would lighten up. I'm just kind of like stuck with this really light blue greenish color for his eyes. I think overall the doll looks pretty decent. I thought he was gonna be like a lot more simpler to crochet just because he has one main color, but after sewing on the spider webs, I realized this was actually a lot of work too, so I saved some time on the color changing part, but then every time I use like lace yarn to do the details, it takes me a long time. But overall, I am very happy with the result of the doll for Rui. And yeah, there we go. Got 3 spider webs on the back side, and the hair, I think you can kind of tell that his hair on the top has like a cooler tone, whereas the white on the bottom is a warm tone. I'm not sure if the camera picks that up, but I can definitely see it. Thanks to those who donate to me on Ko-fi, as it really helps fund my supplies. And I'm gonna be back with another video soon. Bye!